Good morning. Hi, everyone. I'm Vone Kevitz, knit and crochet designer for one-of-a-kind makers who dare to be original. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to find me. And I just got I think I got a lash run into my eye. So, what day are we? Saturday, the 9th, November 9th. Can you believe it's November 9th already? It's crazy. This year has just been going by so fast. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to find me. So, wow, when that happens, hopefully somebody will join me. Actually, one person will. She made it on my gratitude list today because she told me she was joining me today. And oh my God, okay, there is a lash in my eye. It's going to bother me. Of course, a lash in my eye as soon as I go on live. Let me take a minute to pray. Lord, thank you for another amazing opportunity to get together and meet with my beautiful, creative, amazing makers. This is a space that we've come together to share our ideas, thoughts, and just to connect in this beautiful community. And today's topic is going to be a little hard. So Lord, I pray that you give me strength to speak from my heart and watch over the words that I want to use, and hopefully it will be received in a loving, compassionate manner in which I hope to give this message to. In Jesus' name, amen. Hey, thank you, Allie. Oh, so much for joining. You guys are so amazing for coming on here, because this is going to be a little tougher topic. So I'm so glad that somebody is joining me on. If you guys caught my live Monday Morning Motivation with Sarah Price, I just want to backtrack a little bit. I'm making today too. So, okay, so much is going on today. And my watered down giant size cup of coffee with my almond milk is accompanying me today because I have a slight migraine and I did not want to mess around today. Yeah, my migraine is threatening my existence right now. So if you caught my Monday morning motivation, I just want to backtrack real quick and share with you guys the quote that we talked about. If you haven't caught that live, I should have prepared better. Actually, I could have pulled my bullet journal up, but I figured my phone was going to be the better access. Okay, the quote for Monday morning motivation was, whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. Choice is your superpower. Don't waste it. That's a quote from me. We rarely do a quote from me, but I thought it was a good one, and Sarah agreed. So whatever you are not changing, you are choosing. Think about that. Whatever you are not changing about your life, about your existence, then you are choosing it. Choice is your superpower. Don't waste it. So we talked about all kinds of things like on that Monday morning motivation. And one of the topics I touched on was, taking full responsibility, like 100% responsibility for your life, is a tough pill to swallow, because we're a day and age where, well, it's always been this way. We like to blame other people for the wrongs that is put upon us. It's easier to blame outside forces for the elements that we don't like. It's tough to own your faults, to own your responsibility. It's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow. So most people don't like to swallow it. It's easier to blame. Sandy, oh, me too. I do not love coconut treatment on my temples. Oh, that helps a little. That's awesome. There's an amazing lady that gives me an oil to use for my migraines, and sometimes I do use that. But as a habit, because I struggle so, it's tough for me to remember that. But thank you for reminding me of that. I should have went with that first, but I went with Excedrin, and it is gone with this cough. Hold on, I gotta go get tissue. All of a sudden, I felt my nose starting to run a little bit. I think my babies are going to be well behaved today. So, all right. So that was that, and then so in that within that conversation on Monday, I had spoken. I had mentioned. Okay, here's something else that I said on Instagram. Whatever you're not changing, you are choosing. Taking ownership of your life and your decisions doesn't just make you responsible, but it gives you tremendous power. Power to choose better, whatever better looks like for you. Choose it and follow through on it and believe in yourself, because I do. So, one of the hard topics that I had mentioned, and I didn't plan on bringing it up, but I did because I wanted to talk about the severity of, or the extensive, not severity, the extents, maybe severity, how powerful your choices are, right? And that's including if you are being abused, physical abuse, mental abuse. Yes, I went there. I don't know how. It was Monday morning. Clearly, I wasn't thinking clearly. And I shut right down because tough topics she tends to stay away from. And so do I for the most part. But once in a blue moon, I have a foot and mouth problem. And so I had mentioned that if you are being abused mentally or physically, if you're not changing that situation, then you are choosing that situation. And I don't know how I said it. It probably came out harsher than I wanted to, but I wasn't saying it to that I was blaming, putting the blame on the victim. I wasn't saying it that I was judging the scenario. There was no judgment, no blame, just a statement of fact that if you're not changing something, then you are choosing it. And a beautiful, beautiful woman reached out to me and made a comment, and I just want to read the conversation that we had. And she said, I come on here for motivation and positivity. I love the flow of conversations and the courses it takes. I come from a place of love and positivity when I say this. Abusive relationships have so many dynamics and things at play. To say that staying in one is a choice is severely oversimplifying it. Choice was in quotes. I think this quote is best applied to things like fitness goals, time management, career choices, personal growth, and weight management. I encourage you to look into all the various reasons victims don't leave. Most of the time, it is fear for her life. There is so much room for education of society on domestic abuse. The most dangerous time for a victim in an abusive relationship is when he or she tries to leave. For the victim and any children in the picture, this is no simple quote, just suck it up and do it. Also, the mental abuse often puts the victim in a mental state that it makes it difficult to see obvious and understand that it is something he or she needs to do. Is was bold. This is too complex of a situation to put under the umbrella of this quote. I would hate for any viewer who may be in dangerous relationship to hear that and think that they are the problem, or that they are too stupid to do the smart thing. Smart was in quotes, which is what the abuser has convinced them. Hashtag domestic violence awareness. Hashtag break the silence on domestic violence. So that was the comment from my beautiful, beautiful viewer. And I wrote to her, you are absolutely, and absolutely was in capital letters, 100% correct in your comment. Thank you for this heartfelt message. It was very insensitive of me to touch on such a delicate topic with the broad stroke of the simplicity of choice. It breaks my heart into a million pieces to know that a woman would allow herself or her child to be repetitively abused over and over again. At what point should she take responsibility for her decisions? When she gets abused occasionally, monthly, weekly, daily, or just near death? It is a tough and scary situation. To stay or to leave is both scary and dangerous situations and decisions. Choice is everyone's superpower. I pray that the Lord watches over and protects all of his children. And then I was at work at the time. I thought about it long and hard. And I prayed over it during work over and over. And then I wanted to come back and comment. So I came back and commented, and I said, I have reflected and prayed over this message about this topic further. And I would really like to go deeper on this topic on my next live on Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I really hope that you and many others can join me. We need to shine a light on this topic, and what greater time than the present time. Thank you so much for helping me pause and slow down about this. This is why I love our time together on Monday Morning Motivation. God bless you so much, sweet friend. And she wrote back, Vone Kevich, thank you so much, Vone. One of the many reasons that you are amazing. Thank you for not taking my comment as trying to be argumentative. Heck, I'm not a morning person, so sometimes something I say might come out completely wrong. And I know it takes a lot to do these lives. And I know I wouldn't be very skilled at it as you and Sarah are. Thank you again for reading my comment as intended. I know you had no ill will, and I'll be tuning in for sure. And then I just responded, never in a million years did I think that I would approach such a topic on a live on YouTube, but you are the sweet angel that the Lord sent me, so I must not ignore his whisper, lest he shouts at me later. And isn't that what the Lord always does? He whispers to us about the things that matter and answers the prayers that we never thought we would even be praying for. And we ignore it until it blows up in our face someday. And then we're always like, whoa, what just happened, right? So I thought, good morning, Gala. So glad you can join us. So I was like, let me just take this opportunity to spend an hour. You know, I like my lives to reflect on how the week was. So I was really scared and nervous about this live because this is a topic that I'm never in a million years, like I said, would have thought I would be approaching. It's not a topic that I'm familiar with. It is not a topic. It took me a while because I was going to say that I don't even know any firsthand accounts, but after the whole week of reflecting, I do know one firsthand account that was really, really bad, to the point where she stayed till her boys were in high school and college. I don't know when the abuse started, but she ended with him trying to suffocate her with a pillow. And she managed to get out of it because her college student boy, her oldest boy in college, so he's in his, late teens, early 20s, came and stopped it, or he would have lost his mother. And then she left, and he helped her. So I did know one account firsthand. When I say choice is your superpower, it is all that you have. God gave us free will in this world. He could have had over his reign over us as a king, and he could have just said, do what I tell you to do as your subjects. But he gave us this beautiful gift, each and every individual in life, this free will to choose your path, to choose your decisions, and to not let anybody take a hold over you. And such a gift comes with great, great, great responsibility. There is nobody, and my message is just from a place where my message has always been, you guys are amazing human beings. Every single one of you. God, we are made in God's image. We are amazing human beings with so much potential and so much greatness inside of each and every single one of us. When He crafted us, before He even crafted us, He knew exactly what we were made to do, what we were going to be great at, what our potential and our possibilities. It's just tremendous. And when you look at the amazing things that human beings have managed to accomplish over time, like the potential is beyond, right? Beyond. But yet, not everybody meets their potential. Not everybody even knows their potential. Not everybody even grasps the possibility that they even have potential. So I think the Lord has put me on this earth to remind people of this message, and that message alone. We are made by our creators to create. Now, when I realize that message sometimes, because I'm battling through it too, going, well, what's keeping me from creating? And there are a lot of personal things that keep us from pursuing our best version. There are a lot of reasons. And every day I'm discovering new reasons of why I'm not showing up my best way. And as I learn and try, I share. And this is the course that I'm at, right? So to touch on such a crazy topic, I wasn't coming from a place where I was blaming or judging any scenario. I just want to say everybody has a choice. Everybody has a choice in life. You choose whether to stay right from the morning. You choose whether to stay or get up from bed. You choose your first steps. You choose your first thoughts. You choose your first actions. You choose every single thing from the moment you are conscious to the moment you rest and get unconscious. Your choice. And all I'm saying is choose the best course for you. Stay in the pursuit of that. Now, what does that mean? That means to love and take care of yourself, to appreciate and appreciate and be grateful for the things that you have in life, for what you accomplish, what you can do. Those are within your control, right? So start with yourself, love yourself, take care of yourself, honor yourself. And that means educating yourself. That means exposing yourself to positive things. That means putting yourself in your best case scenarios. That means pursuing that course. You know what I mean? Whatever that looks like. That means making decisions all day long to say what is going to serve me in my best way and what isn't. What is hindering me? What is keeping me? And stay away from that. And do your best to course correct that. You're the only one that can. You're the only one that can. There's nobody else that can do it for you. You know what I mean? I know that for a fact because I've watched people try to help me come out of the ruts that I've been in. And I've also in the other scenario where I've had helpless loved ones that I want to help so badly that I couldn't help. And the answers are so simple, but yet tremendously complicated to their world, just like mine. Their answers are simple to me, but not easy for me to do to get out of my states, right? But it's this constant course of action that we're making over and over again every single day. How do I show up my best way? And if I'm not showing up my best way, what do I need to do to get myself in that pursuit? And that's why I read books, I educate, I listen to podcasts, I read positive quotes. I read the Bible. I I put myself in spaces and or surround myself with people that are loving and that are kind. And then when people who are not, I just stay away from, because I protect my glass of water. I don't let junk in as much as possible, that I don't let junk in, because I have no control over that. But what I do have control over is what I allow into my life, into my heart, into my mind, and how I process things. Those are my choices. Now, have I made bad decisions? Have I made bad choices? All the time. All the time. I make them all the time, people. I make them all the time. But I'm constantly in pursuit of a better way, because my ultimate goal, because I'm an empathetic person. I've known that has been my downside, but also my strength. I care for people more than I care for myself. I take care of others more than I would myself. I will let myself run to the ground ragged, with nothing else left to give, with my well so dry, but yet I will still try to pour out water for other people. And I know that. I've done it. I've been in those scenarios. It just works better that when you serve yourself first and you fill that water that you can give. And so I'm in this constant pursuit of trying that. It always starts from yourself. And my message isn't to stay or to leave, to stay or to whatever. I'm not doing anything. I just want here to tell you guys that anybody that's watching this video, you guys have the potential to be this awesome human being. Just to clarify, the simple statement of awesome and your best self, it comes in all kinds of forms and all kinds of levels and all kinds of things. Ellie, who shows up on my lives and who is this sweet, amazing woman that the Lord has put into my world, just messaged me this morning, 30 minutes right before, 30 minutes before the live, and said, hey, on Instagram, hey, can't wait to see you soon. Simple message. Can't wait to see you soon. Coming on live, right? And those 4 or 5 words that she DM'd me, it meant the world to me. And that's why she made it on my gratitude list today. It meant the world to me, because those 4 or 5 words that she took out 2 seconds to type into it, reach out to me, it let me know that I'm about to do a hard video today, talk about a really tough topic, and a message that I'm not confident about, a message that it's dangerous territories that I don't want to, but with those 4 or 5 words that she sent to me, it just made me feel supported and loved and appreciated and stronger, knowing that she's got my back, that I have somebody that I'm like, okay, I won't do this message alone. So those 4 or 5 words, 2 seconds, do you know what superpower she had in just that message alone? What amazing thing, what amazing gift she gave me on just that simple message alone. That's powerful. That is powerful stuff. And that took nothing but a thought from her and one simple follow through. But it has carried me 30 minutes into this. It made me feel a lot better knowing that I wasn't going to be alone. That's power. We all have that kind of power in our world. We all have that potential in us to be that. So I'm just here to remind everybody that watches these videos, that joins me in these things, that whatever scenario you are in, whatever situation that you are in right now, if you do not like it, if it is not good for you, if it's not serving you, you have a choice to change that. And if you don't change that, you are choosing it. That's all I'm reminding you. If you have a choice to change anything that is not serving your world and serving you to be your best self, if you're not changing that element, You are choosing it. And if you don't like that choice, well, then we've got to figure out a way to choose better. We've got to. And I'm here to help. We're all here to help. That's why we all come here. That's why we come together, because we're like, we remind each other of how to make good choices on our lives so we can be our best selves, right? My mother used to say, doing nothing is a choice. Amen, Sandy. That was my point. That is my point. That is my point of this entire message. That is my point of that quote that I had on Monday Morning Motivation. Whatever, if you are doing nothing, you are choosing to do nothing. You are choosing to do nothing. So 30 minutes in. Have I said the words that I needed to say? Or is it clear? Hi, Tammy. So glad you're joining. I'm currently reading a book titled Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud. How is that? Is that a good book? That sounds like, let me write that down. I'm going to write that down because, listen, I'm listening to Think and Grow Rich that the Hubs has on his Acquire Liberty page. He's got that audiobook broken down into chapters, which is a really great book. It's a must for anybody. Think and Grow Rich. It's a classic. And I tried it one time and I didn't get into it, but my brain is ready to receive that message now. And in the meantime, my Audible title for this month, which I'm about halfway through, is The Infinite Game by Simon Sinek. Such a great book. Oh my God. Well, I can't wait to talk about The Infinite Game with you guys. But boundaries, I'm going to write that down. Boundaries, because I'm always looking for, and I've learned that it's not, like I said, it's not just self-development, and it's not just business. I am constantly educating myself to show up the best way in my life. And so that covers all broads of topics. So what is that? I'm on the same way, but until a good friend told me, God wants you to be good to you first, then your goodness is multiplied on others. That's exactly, Sandy. Amen. Exactly. That's my point. We come on here and we meet weekly so that we can ground ourselves and root ourselves in a community where we know that we have such amazing potential. Good morning. Oh, hey, sweet friend. Love book recommendations. I came at the right time. Yes, you did. Got distracted with overtime. Well, thank you for coming on here. You were the beautiful friend that wanted me to pause and stop on this topic. So definitely watch the first 30 minutes that I just covered on this, and the message that I had about the choices that we are making in our world. And Sandy, your mom was so right. To do nothing is a choice. Doing nothing is a choice, just like doing something is a choice. We always concentrate on the fact that we have to do something, right? like me taking full ownership of my weight and my health, because if I'm not happy with my weight or my health, it's because of the path and the decisions I chose to take this course, and here I am, right? I forgot the other topics that I had talked about of why of the decisions that we make, and I sure feel watch beginning. Awesome. I'm glad you will. And that's so in that principal truth of knowing this, to love, honor, and serve yourself, and give yourself your best life so you can pursue your best. Oh my God. While I'm doing this, I wanted to real quick, I wanted to actually work on a new scarf that I'm working on, because I have a photo shoot that I was like, oh, maybe I can get it done before my model shows up today. And I never even picked up my hook for 30 minutes now. So I'm going to do that and start talking. Yeah, responsibility is a choice, and you have to own your worth. Do you, can we talk a little bit about owning your worth? Because I think that's where it starts from. You know, people who are in scenarios that they're not, that aren't serving them. People, we're talking physical abuse, mental abuse by others, by yourself, because people, this falls in the same line as when you're mentally abusing yourself, when you're physically abusing yourself. Hence, drinking, drugs, and doing all kinds of stuff, or me overeating on bad junk food that I know isn't serving me, even though my vice and my bad habits that aren't serving me, and my decisions that I make that don't help me, that abuse me physically, mentally, emotionally. These are all things that I do upon myself. So even though I don't have experience in other people, like an outside force mentally and physically abusing me, I have an abusive relationship with myself. And guess who the abuser is? Me. I'm abusing myself. It's a tough pill to swallow, but the remedy is the same. The remedy is the same. I can choose. I have that choice to get out of it, change that, and stop myself from abusing myself. You know what I mean? Just like if I was being abused by an outside force, I have that same choice to stop the outside force, you know? And how you do that is the first thing I had to do to stop myself from abusing myself is I had to own my worth. I had to find out my worth to myself. You know what I mean? And that's a tough realization. Like, how do you find your own worth when you feel like you're not worth it? You feel like you're not worth the improvement. You feel like you're not worth the good thing that can come from it. So, I do like, it takes, I mean, like when I stopped last month about the cream and the sugar because I knew that it wasn't serving my body good. When I stopped that, I had to drink a healthy, nasty detox tea every day. That's what I replaced my coffee with, this nasty, bitter detoxing tea that would help cleanse my liver and cleanse my kidneys, with all this stuff. And every time I would take that sip of drink, instead of my sweet, creamy coffee, it was this bitter, like, pungent tea that I'm just like, oh my God, this is totally the opposite of what my taste buds want right now. And so every time I took the sip, I was like, oh, it's nasty. Like every time I said it to myself, it's nasty, it's nasty, it's nasty. And then I was telling my model, I was like, I need to flip this script because I can't keep telling myself this is nasty, because what I say to myself becomes true. The power, the words that you speak to yourself is the strongest language that can ever befall. If you are not saying good serving words to yourself, you're because the things that you take in, they become your truths. They become, when you say things over and over again, you start to believe it one way or another. When you hear things over and over again, you believe it one way or another. And what you hear most are the things that you say to yourself, you know? And so I didn't want to be telling myself that I'm drinking something that's nasty, even though it tasted nasty. So instead we flipped the script to say, this is such a healthy tea. This is so healthy, right? And when I started flipping that script, that this is so healthy, then I started to realize, well, what am I doing this for? I'm trying to take care of myself. I'm trying to take better care of myself. Why? Because I'm worth it. I need to show up better for a community. I need to show up better for my husband. I need to show up better for my bosses, my family, anybody that I feel like are relying on me. I need to show up better. And so one way to do that is when I feel better, when I physically feel better. Well, I don't physically feel better when I'm constantly abusing my body with making bad decisions and taking in non-nutritious food and drinks and all kinds of stuff, elements that aren't serving me. So that's why I'm drinking this healthy tea. That's why I'm making these choices. That's why I'm doing these things, because I need to be better. I need to serve better. I need to show up better. And that makes me feel worthy. And then the more I realize, like, the more I make that decision, the better I feel, the more worthier I feel. Like, these are the things that's happening. I've been doing that with my workouts. I can't speak with dread about a choice I made that serves my goal. I want to read that again. I've been doing that with my workouts. Oh my God, I'm doing the same thing with my workouts. It's tough. It's tough to decide to move your body. But you have to remind yourself, if you don't move your body, you'll lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it. There's a reason why that statement is so true in life. Just like your brain. If you're not using your brain, you lose it. Things you don't remember. If you're not growing your brain, you start to feel stupid. You can't remember things. Like, the things that seemed easier to you get harder. Just like our physical body. Like, if you can't, I used to be able to reach my back and scratch my back. I can't. There's a limit right there, and I can't get any further. And I used to go all the way back to my back, and I'm like, what the heck happened? How did I not? When did I lose that extension on my arm? And now I have to get it back. I have to figure out a way to get it back. It's just, that's the thing about moving your body. And if you don't lose it, if you don't use it, you lose it. These are constant reminders. So yeah, making a choice to continually move your body, and not to be a certain weight, not to look a certain way, not to, you know what I mean? Those are outside forces that, when I was younger, I've always struggled with weight my whole life. I've always struggled with weight because I struggle with food, because I'm a food addict, you know, and not a healthy food addict. I'm a bad food, non-nutritious meal food addict. So I've always struggled with weight, and and I've always told myself, well, uh, I gave up on the idea of being a model and being in the fashion world a long, long time ago, doing, you know what I mean, all those things. And then at one point I was like blaming society, where I was like, no, um, I will not. I'm going to continue to make the decisions that I make and stay overweight, stay unhealthy, not move my best self, and be tired and lethargic and ache all the time, and be uncomfortable and insecure, like, despite of what everybody says. Like, these are decisions we make all day long. We make them all day long, whether we think we are or we're not. We're making them. So in February, I changed my eating drastically. I learned to tell myself sugar and processed foods are poison. You're right. What you say, you believe over time. Yes, I'm doing the same thing, Sandy, with processed food. So last month, I gave up cream and sugar, right? And this month, for November, my food category that I'm giving up is vending machine. Is a vending machine, and that's because at work, how I was saying no to the sugars and the treats at work, I would replace it with a bag of chips at lunch, or like at 2 o'clock snack, when work got really like dull and I got bored, or like, it's a long day, and then so the one of my new habits that I was picking up was going to the vending machine and getting a bag of chips. And so that is my new one this month, is to avoid that vending machine. So what that means is I have to make better choices and for myself, and that's in the morning, setting myself up to bring a lot of food, which is healthier snacks that I know I'm going to want, that I know I'm going to reach for, that I know I'm going to need, because it's a habit that I've developed, where certain times of the day I reach for food, because now I just have to do is prepare myself and make better decisions on what to make. And the first thing I do is, when I come up to the vending machine, it's because I have nothing else left to eat, and then I go for the vending machine. So now I equip myself with a lunch bag full of food, full of snacks, full of veggies, full of celery and carrots, and I bring enough that I never run out of celery and carrots. Never run out. I always come home with celery and carrots with my in my lunch bag. But that's because when I'm there, I have that choice. So if I want a snack, I'm gonna have celery and carrots. The excuse of me not having anything in front of me is not in front of me anymore, because that was I was the victim. I had nothing else left to eat, and I wasn't going to eat the free, beautiful, delicious sweets that the office was providing. So now I have to go get my vending machine. Those are the stories that I told myself, and then I'm like, okay, so now I flipped that scenario, and now it's celery and carrots. If I want a snack, guess what? I'm choosing that, because that's my choice now, because it serves my better purpose, which is to be healthy. And why is that? Because I want to feel good, and so I can do all the things that I want to do, so I can serve and my loved ones, and so I can serve a community, so I can show up my best way, so I can physically support that. Because if I don't, I'm in bed. I'm in bed with a migraine, vomiting, and throwing up because I made bad decisions, and there I'm stuck. Right? Choices all day long. It's always about choices. And sometimes it's minor, sometimes it's huge. Sometimes it's huge. And on a topic that I got on to Monday, my point was that sometimes it's so huge that if you are in a physical abusive relationship, if your kid is, oh my gosh, if you expose yourself and your loved one, your most precious child, to that abuse, and you don't do anything about it, well, I have to tell you, sweet friend, I have to tell you, that's a bad choice you're making. Choose better. Choose better. You know? I sit there and reflect on that lady, that friend. It was a friend of my parents. Um, I wonder, how long did she have to? So she waited to the point where he was going to suffocate her. And if her son didn't show up, I don't know the level of abuse that she went through all of that time. I don't know if he started off a loving husband. From what I've ever known of him, he was always a super sweet, nice guy. From when we saw him at parties, he was always this. In fact, I remember being younger and thinking I remember during their courting time, he was dating my aunt. He was dating my aunt. And my aunt was in Kansas at the time. And so it was a long distance relationship. And she's still there. Or no, she's in Texas. And that's how he got on my radar. He was dating my aunt. But so for some reason it didn't work out. And so she ended up marrying him and courting with him and everything. And that's how he stayed on my radar, is because he was the guy that dated my aunt, and we almost became family if that relationship pursued, but it didn't. So he ended up with this other lady. I I don't know at what point it turned, and I'm trying to put myself in her scenario. But the only thing I can ask, the only thing that I have within my control in my life, is that I show up in this world a representative of the Lord's message in saying, love yourself and love your neighbors as I have. That's what the Lord says. Love yourself and love your neighbors. Love your neighbors as you love yourself. Love yourself as I love you. Love, 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 love all the way around, every which way. We always think that it starts with others, but you have to start with loving yourself first. If you don't love yourself, you can't love others. You don't know what that is. You can't abuse yourself and think you can give love to others. So my main message is always that. And that's why, and a part of loving yourself, extension of loving yourself, is taking care of yourself. That's what I do for myself. I can't love others if I'm not loving myself. And when I learned that concept, when I'm abusing my physical body, my mental body, if I tell myself things that aren't serving me, if I'm allowing things that aren't serving me, then how can I be of service to the world? How can I extend that outward if I'm exposing myself to, if I'm the one abusing myself? We Oh boy, the kid is starting. Actually, he did really well. 47 minutes in. That's pretty good, considering the last time I think he started within the 20 minutes that we showed up live. You guys, thank you so much for this. I hope this message is resonating with you, and I hope it gives you good reminder that choice is your superpower. Choice is your superpower. We always think we don't have one, right? We watch so many superhero stuff. We're a big Marvel movie fan, and then we're and now we're into the Netflix. Oh my God, Netflix! Something needs to happen with the Netflix. It is not good for this. It is not good for this addictive personality. But we're watching Arrow right now, and I'm just keep exposing myself. I think I love superhero movies because they always have this power. And John and I was debating like, oh, which power do you want? Oh, I want that power. I want that power. I wish I had this power. When I grasped at this concept of choice being our superpower, that is something that we all have it. That's something we all have it. And what we do with it is immensely powerful. You know what I mean? It's immensely powerful. You can choose your best self. You can choose your best route. You can choose your best version. And it takes a lot of work. Those choices are hard work. You think watching those superheroes, you think like, oh, all they do is save lives and it's so easy for them. It's just easy, easy, easy. No, it's work. It's like this. It's making something, to produce something out of nothing. It's work. It takes a long time. It's hard work. I don't think this isn't gonna make it into the photo shoot today. But it's hard work, right? But you do it. And you do it because what else are you going to do? You're on this earth. What else are you going to do but serve your best self and be your best self so you can be best for others? Like, what are you going to do? Knitting is my superpower. Amen. Tammy, you are so right. Knitting, creating is your superpower. That's the point of me getting on here every single week. That's this dare to be original message, is creating is your superpower. You know what I mean? And I say creating because I have a massive extension of whether to knit, to crochet, to paint, to draw, to write, to create stories, to write poems, to use words to bring power and meaning into the world, to take pictures, to capture images that bring like hope into the world, to physically knit stuff that warms people's hearts, that make people feel loved because they knew love was put into it. Like that, these are all powerful stuff, and you choose it. How much sleep you get each night so that you can show up rested in the morning and give yourself like a full battery to perform your best version for the day. Your choices. I'm not doing very well in that sleeping choice myself because of, the Netflix thing. But I know that the choice is there. And if I'm not choosing to get enough hours sleep, guess what choice I made? Guess what choice I made? I made it for me. I made it that I didn't choose sleep that day. That's a choice I made. So doing nothing is choosing. Doing something is choosing. You're choosing it one way or another. You're choosing it one way or another. So, oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I was wondering how this was going to go, and I think I'm feeling pretty proud about today's message after all. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Anything else fun? So you want a sneak peek? Oh, so I'm rebranding. So speaking of the photo shoot today, I'm totally rebranding. So for the past 4 years of the VK shop, I had my model wear white shirt, pants, and then cut her face off and wear my scarves. And so this time around, I'm told her to bring me some dark black shirt. And I think she says she's going to have a gray one for me. So I'm moving, I'm branching out into the world from white to black to gray, hopefully. And so that I wanted to the funny thing is about my brand, I like the white because it's just a blank canvas. That's the point of the plain shirt, is to only emphasize the scarf is the blank canvas of that. But I've always worn only black shirts. I wear dark colors. So for some reason I was like, why am I not changing? So I don't know how the photos are going to turn out. I don't know how it's going to be, but it's a beautiful sunny day. So I pray that the Lord blesses us with a good sun the rest of today. And so I can get these scarves taken pictures of, and then hopefully they show up well on PhotoFuse, which is my editing choice, which is not really editing. It's just to make my whiter background, so we take the picture in my back, my white wall, and then I cut the image and make the background white, clean up the white. And that's the extent of my editing photos. Do you all know a program? Because my model was asking me, do you know a program that you can click on the shirt and make it change color? Is that something in Photoshop? Do you guys know that offhand? Which is a weird topic to bring up, but I figure we're all creative friends here. If anybody knows photos. Ooh, 5 minutes. I just want to share a beautiful miracle story with you. Wednesday night, Indy, give me 5 minutes, please. 5 minutes. Wednesday night into Thursday morning, we're up late again, so it's about 10:30, and we're like, let's turn in, let's stop the Netflix, and let's get ready for bed. And my husband's, buttoning up, letting the dogs out, checking the thermostat, closing up, locking up and everything. And he noticed the temperature dropped down 2 degrees under the setting. And we're like, uh-oh. So getting ready to go to bed, and it's 11 o'clock, and he's changed because our furnace died. It stopped working, hence the 2 degrees under the setting. So here we are at 11 o'clock trying to figure out how to get this furnace to get back up. So we went to test it out. He checked YouTube real quick on Brush Up. YouTube is everything, guys. YouTube is everything. If you need to know something, there's nothing that you can do in this world that isn't already shown to you on YouTube. You just have to find it and go for it. So he watched a video, figured out how to clean it. We took the time to do it. So here we are at 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Did everything we could, and we're realizing it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So we're like, all right, hopefully it's this one simple part from what YouTube had said, but we can't do anything because it's 2 a.m. in the morning. Can't get it. Can't get the part. Can't do whatever. So I went to bed. I bundled up, went to sleep, and I said, okay, tomorrow's another day. We will figure this out. We don't want to spend $300 on a dude to come in and fix this thing, but we may have to. That's our worst case scenario. And worse even yet, it could be thousands of dollars and find out it's not fixable, right? I don't know. It could be replaced. Who knows where my mind was going. But I managed to get some sleep, bundled up. And then I woke up, and I had my alarm set for 6:30. I slept in because I'm only allowing myself 4 hours of sleep. So that's not good. 6:30, got up, showered. The hubs is still downstairs. I knew he was still putzing around. He didn't get any sleep that night. He ended up spending the whole night watching YouTube videos on how to fix this thing, on all the potentials. He learned everything that he could about a furnace. And so at 6 o'clock, Lowe's, I guess, opened, which is our, there were several shops, but Lowe's was the closest. And he went and got the part, a $20 part. He got 2 of them as a backup. $10 part, maybe? $20? I'm not sure. But he got the part, and he bought another part, which is the backup. And he prayed to God that that was the piece. I went downstairs. I got showered. I went downstairs. I made him his eggs and breakfast. I was like, I'm not going to ruin my morning routine. It's freezing. It's freezing. And I went and checked the birds room. We have a talking African gray parrot. I said, the dogs can sleep and huddle on each other. They can generate their own heat. John and I can wear clothes and we can generate our own heat. But poor Sparky, my talking African gray, he cannot generate his own heat. He will die on us if we don't take care of this heating problem. And I got worried about him. He's all poofed up, and I'm like, oh my God. I was like, no, we need to solve this problem today. Get downstairs. I hear my husband putzing down there, and I'm like, I need to get myself ready for work. I need to do my normal morning routine. I need to get his drinks ready. I need to get my lunch ready. I'm going to do all that before I figure out what's going on with him down there. And then all of a sudden, his eggs are made, and I walked down, and I went to check up on him, and boom, he fixed it. And I was like, this is 7:30 in the morning. I didn't think we were going to even address this yet, because I thought the hardware store opened at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock best case scenario. And he had already gone out to Lowe's at 6 a.m., found the part, fixed it all by himself without my help, because he spent 4 hours up all night while I was sleeping to watch a whole bunch of YouTube videos on how to do it, the ins and outs of a furnace. He's never done any before in his life. Never, 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 never. And it's fixed. And we have heat. And I was like, whoa. I was like, what a miracle. How great is that? And the whole thing about it is it wasn't the fact that he brought heat into the world, which can I tell you, don't take heat for granted. Heating showed up on my gratitude the rest of that week. Thank you, Lord, for heat. Thank you, Lord, for heat. Just the fact that my husband was in a scenario where our backs against the wall. He was faced with a problem that he has never solved a day before in his life. It was a problem that he never got into, and he figured out a way to solve it. With a YouTube video and the persistence and drive and determination. And he did something that was a miracle. And I'm just like, I'm in awe. It's a great reminder of what possibility and potential we each and every single one of us have in this world. So whatever problem you think you're facing, whenever your back's against the wall, whatever scenario that you think is so impossible, John just reminded me that there's no such thing as impossible. Another great reminder that there's no such thing as impossible. Because impossible literally is in the word, I'm possible. Spell it out. Impossible. I am. P-O. I'm possible. Let that message be great to you. Let that message serve you this week. All right, guys. 10:01. I gotta go. I gotta get ready. The model's coming in 30 minutes. Wish me luck. Follow me on Instagram. Hopefully I'll remember to put some stories and share some stories of give you guys a sneak peek as to what the photos look like unedited, and then the finished product of what it is. I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys make some amazing choices this week. Choose well, choose wisely, choose lovingly, choose it all, because it is your superpower. God bless. See you guys next week. God bless. Bye.